Again, this module is related to the case study, and here we are going to discuss case study number 18. It is related to the new era of flexible funds in Asia. Whenever we are going to talk about the friendship across the world with reference to different countries within the context of the globalization, then one important context is related to the Asia. International banking and credit card is that particular area which is related to the international finance. So the financial integration or financial globalization actually leads towards the globalization in terms to real economic integrity. So this international banking and credit cards expansion helps to improve the level of globalization across Asia. First of all, everybody knows that the plastic revolution which has emerged during 2002, and estimated amount of credit cards which have been held by the Asian people, and specifically in Asia Pacific region, is 448 million. So much huge amount of credit cards have been issued, and they are being used for discretionary spending 7%, and then 40% by the developed market. So that is a huge proportion of use of credit cards across different countries, specifically in developed markets. 40% is really a significant amount of its use. Radical cultural shift has emerged as well, and you know that people of Asia, mostly they have the habit to have more savings. They are habitual savers. So actually, whenever credit cards are being spreaded or thrown in the market of Asia, actually it is going to change their habit, and that was the habit which actually lies within their DNAs. So this means actually it is going to affect their behavior, psychology, as well as their lifestyle. So further growth of the particular sale products, specifically the electronics, just like the televisions, the air conditioners, and then vehicles, just like bikes, cars, and just like the real estate related things, apartments, real estate by itself. So this means actually all these are the products which have grown up in terms of their sales. So people are buying them, so they are using these cards for buying these products. Pro-consumer spending means that people are used to spend more money for consumer product instead of investment products. So macroeconomic recovery is possible because more consumption means aggregate demand will rise, and if aggregate demand is going to move up, it will help to generate more production in the economy because producer will supply more output. The number of cards per person increased so much that it became near about or approximately unmanageable to handle that accumulated debt, because you know that credit cards mean you are taking a loan or credit, and you are using that credit or loan to buy goods and services, and you have to pay it back sooner or later. So financial problems and banking, specifically problems related to finance and banking, and specifically the crisis which are going to happen, they create steep fall down or sharp fall down in consumption. It is going to create more problem, specifically in Asian economies. Korea, high lending risk. Korea is going to face high lending risk. Specifically, it happens due to the without credit check structure, because whenever you are going to check or place some kind of restriction on credit issuing system or mechanism, then you can control that kind of issuance of credit which may be misused or which may not be recoverable. Japan, remarkable growth we observe in Japan in terms of its development, but the thing is that they are moving in terms of this financial integration gradually. So the use of card for payment to credit is slowly rising. Reliability and security are very much important things which were considered there, as well as the number of terminals where these are being used. China, it's a huge market again, but again it is slow in terms of absorbing that kind of financial context. So actually this study refers all these scenarios with reference to specifically Asia, but here in this diagram we can observe regarding banking account penetration by region in terms of European Union, this area, Asia Pacific, Middle East and related areas, and North America. And what we can observe here, interestingly, that time of different time periods from 2011 to 2017, how much change. In European Union, it's very meager change or small change from 92% to 98% penetration rise. But in Asia Pacific, it's 60 to 73%. It's a bit more significant. And specifically in Middle East, it's remarkable. Again, it's 10% change. And North America is again very small, very meager. So that kind of change is going to happen with reference to at least 6 years. Over the 6 years, the change is quite slow in European Union and North America, but in MENA and APAC, it's quite high. Secondly, banking account penetration by country. Japan at the top, Malaysia, second number, Thailand and China. And these 4 countries specifically have huge bank account penetration, 80%, 81, 85, 98. On the other side, if we go for Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, is 30, 32 and 48%, quite low. And specifically whenever we observe from 2011 to 2017, the change is slow. It means they are growing slowly and they are going to increase that penetration gradually. It's not a remarkable change, or you can say that these are not happening in terms of jumps, just like it happens in case of Indonesia, because it just jumped from 20% to 48%. You can observe the detail about these studies through this source directly. And this third diagram actually related to the debit card ownership by country. Again, Japan is at the top, and now you can observe this debit card ownership has grown remarkably in Japan from 13% in 2011, 87% in 2017. It's a remarkable change. And then Malaysia, again it has a remarkable change. And then China, it's not so much remarkable but still significant. And Thailand, again significant. Actually, across these few countries, this change is quite significant. There is no doubt. But the most change has happened in Thailand, China, Malaysia and Japan. That is remarkable. And then this last diagram shows the what payment type do consumer prefer, report from a particular survey, and you can go to visit this website to find out again detail of this survey. Interestingly, this picture helps to understand that payment mood by different debit card, credit card or cash, by different generation as well as in different time periods. A very short time periods taken from 2011 to 2017. And which thing has grown up? Actually, this green bar rising up, and the cash is growing slowly but not rising much more. This dark green bar show the credit remains near about stagnant, increase a bit more here, but later on it come back. So 33% again come back to the 33%. And the debit is facing this kind of variation, so down to up and up to down. In terms of generation, it's generation Z, the current generation, that is going to use the average number of retail cards is quite low. The average number of credit cards are quite low. So these credit cards were mostly used by generation Y, generation X and baby boomers. So actually this means over the time what is happening, online payments are going to happen, and therefore people are switching from using the credit cards. They are mostly moving towards the new generation, specifically moving towards online or virtual payment mode.